The next phase of PlayStation 5 is taking shape with games that aim to go bigger, deeper, and more polished than before. These are the projects that stand out early, not just for visuals, but for what they're trying to achieve. Here are PS5 games that could be massive hits in 2026 and beyond.
A disaster brought forth by the Arch.
Evilbane is a third-person action RPG built for solo and four-player co-op play, where players switch between ranged and melee weapons during combat and adjust skills based on each situation. The system allows creating a custom warrior by combining different abilities and weapon styles. Missions include boss fights and structured objectives that require coordination and timing, while progress depends on managing combat choices and teamwork across different encounters in a dark fantasy setting.
With the power granted to us, we'll avenge our comrades and reclaim the kingdom! We will hold the line until you foul creatures are raised from this world.
Armatus is a third-person roguelite shooter set in demon-infested ruins of Paris, where players control a supernatural warrior using firearms and celestial powers in combat. Each run involves fighting enemies, gaining upgrades, and restarting after death while keeping progress through learned strategies. Players combine different guns and abilities to adjust combat style while advancing through increasingly difficult areas filled with stronger enemies in a broken city. Project Windless is a single-player, third-person action RPG set in a fantasy world based on The Bird That Drinks Tears, where players control a recon warrior in large-scale battles against multiple enemies. Combat involves fighting groups that react and surround the player, requiring quick movement and decision-making. The game includes 4 races in a war-torn setting where players move freely, form alliances, and take part in battles that shape the rise of a kingdom.
You stand in the way of purity, little king.
Another one of those. Finally. Just you wait.
Gothic 1 Remake is an action RPG set in the Valley of the Mines, where players control a prisoner trapped inside a magical barrier and survive within a lawless colony. The game includes faction choices that affect progression, along with a combat system built around timing and positioning. NPCs follow daily routines and react to player actions, while quests and interactions shape how events unfold inside the colony and its shifting power structure.
Cast aside will shape the days to come.
Yeah.
A colony in perpetual conflict, so divided, so full of contradictions. Those who follow the new god speak of salvation, but faith may have an even grimmer future in store. The bandits preach freedom, anarchy without chains, yet kneel before the mages in the name of balance. Then come the self-proclaimed rulers of the valley, so lost in greed and in the comfort of their fragile arrangement that they long lost any interest in change. And yet, we are all the same, prisoners of the great dome in the sky, with no hope of escaping.
If there's a way out of here, I'll find it.
Open your soul.
Every empire.
Valor Mortis is a first-person action Souls-like, where players control a revived soldier from Napoleon's army fighting monsters across a plague-ridden version of Europe. Combat is built around parries, dodges, and weapon-based attacks, combined with supernatural abilities that enhance damage and mobility. Each death allows progression through improved skills and powers, while players uncover story elements tied to a spreading plague and a conspiracy involving corrupted forces.
This isn't war. This is damnation.
Hey guys, I'm enjoying this. Look at, we got a guy.
The Mound Omen of Cthulhu is a co-op action adventure where up to 4 players form a group of explorers searching for treasure in a cursed jungle filled with hostile creatures and shifting environments. Players prepare equipment before each mission and move deeper into dangerous areas while managing limited resources. The game includes psychological effects that distort perception, causing confusion during encounters, while teamwork and communication remain important for survival and completing objectives.
Father, do not interfere.
You have a disease, sir. You have a condition.
Sir, you... Help!
You got like little wormies. You look like a Medusa, but all over your body.
No, it's all in your head. It's all in your head.
What if you're the one tricking me?
Why would I do that? I've been with you the whole time. Oh my gosh, so that means the game can psych you out and make you think that we're enemies. Oh no.
Oh! Oh! Oh my God!
Whoa!
Whoa!
He's back up.
The power! Oh!
How's it going? Oh!
Where did the other one go now?
Oh! Why is there a centipede?
What is that? It's a centipede. That's not Cletus.
Marvel's Wolverine is an action-adventure game where players control Logan, a mutant with retractable claws, strong instincts, and a healing ability that allows him to recover during combat. Gameplay centers on close-range fighting using claw attacks, fast movement, and aggressive tactics against enemies. The story includes characters from the X-Men universe with events connected to Insomniac's Marvel games, while delivering a standalone narrative built around Logan's abilities and encounters.
Doesn't matter where I go. How far I run. Death's always waiting. Just not for me. Because I ain't no hero. I'm Wolverine.
Untitled John Wick Game is a third-person action game where players control John Wick in a story set within the franchise timeline, featuring an original narrative with known and new characters. Gameplay centers on gun-fu combat that combines shooting, close-range attacks, and movement during encounters. The game also includes driving sections in different environments, with combat design built around fast reactions, positioning, and chaining actions during fights.
He must be versatile, capable, adaptable. He must be grounded, stable, constant. I believe you are ready, sir.
Yeah.
.007 First Light is an action-adventure game where players control a young James Bond during his early time in the MI6 training program, taking on missions that involve stealth, combat, and gadgets. Gameplay allows different approaches, including silent infiltration, direct action, or using tools to bypass enemies. Missions take place across varied locations with driving segments and replay options, while progression is tied to completing objectives and adapting strategies during assignments.
Port Desire. A city that don't belong to anyone, but everyone wants a piece.
No Law is a first-person action RPG set in a cyberpunk city where players control Gray Harker, an ex-soldier navigating a story driven by choices and consequences. Gameplay combines shooting, stealth, and use of gadgets, allowing different approaches during missions. Players interact with characters, complete objectives, and unlock alternate outcomes based on decisions, while movement across vertical areas and use of upgrades affect how combat and encounters are handled.
But desire is a fickle mistress. The city won't let me go. It won't forget my name. I asked for nothing, and they still came and took everything. The mayors and anyone that stands in my way, every last one of them. They're gonna learn something real simple. You reap what you sow.
In the grim darkness.
Total War Warhammer 40,000 is a strategy game that combines turn-based campaign management, real-time battles set across a galaxy at war. Players control factions such as Space Marines, Orcs, Aldari, and Astra Militarum. Each with distinct units and combat styles, gameplay involves managing resources, expanding control over planets, customizing armies, and commanding large-scale battles, where decisions on tactics, positioning, and unit composition determine the outcome of conflicts.
Aliens, traitors, and demons. Across countless worlds, battles rage. Lead your armies. Conquer worlds. Fight on as the galaxy burns. For there is no peace amongst the stars. There is only war.
Among the Stars.
Starfield is expanding with a new update and additional content that introduces land vehicles, extended ship customization using X-Tech resources, and deeper outpost systems with shared storage and new features. Players can upgrade gear and modules while managing settlements across different locations. The update also improves space travel with more flexible movement and added encounters, while a separate expansion adds new story content involving an invading force and related missions.
Do not attempt combat with us. You will not survive. Shields up! Take him down!
Ha-ha! This is gonna be fun!
A pilot is only as capable as their starship. A ship only as useful as its crew.
It's unexpected. Moments you realize. The moment you realize.
Together, you will find your place in the galaxy.
You realize.
But beware. Others are claiming theirs.
Humans of the settled systems. You have forgotten who you are. We shall remind you.
There is no use resisting. Destroying hostile units.
They got the crash drive!
Annihilating.
We are the Terran Armada. And none shall stand now.
Our newest racer has arrived! Welcome to the Galactic League!
Star Wars Galactic Racer is a racing game set in an underground league where players compete across dangerous tracks using different types of vehicles such as land speeders, speeder bikes, and pod racers. Gameplay involves high-speed racing combined with combat actions like ramming and takedowns against rivals. Players can customize vehicles to match different handling styles, take part in solo story missions or multiplayer matches, and progress by winning races and improving performance.
Impeding! Impeding! If they weren't holding me back right now, I'd have you frozen in carbonite!
Take a look. What a sight to behold. Whew.
Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thieves is a flight action game where players pilot military aircraft in fast-paced aerial combat using missiles, guns, and tactical maneuvers to defeat enemies. Missions involve engaging multiple targets, managing positioning in the air, and reacting to changing battle conditions. The game includes a campaign with story scenes between missions, along with multiplayer modes where players compete or cooperate in air battles using different aircraft and loadouts.
He's a mass delusion fabricated by the rumor mill of social media.
Radar contact. We think it's the shadows. Our lone target is Wings.
All dogs fire. Time to pull out, 22.
Roger that. God damn it. Start swimming, soldier. Make it home alive.
Let's keep at it, Rex.
Ray, heads up!
On your orders, Rex.
To keep Hope alive, Wings of Thieves must stay on the mission. Must fly on.
I can make up your kill count to be whatever. Right. From now on, you'll be the greatest ace pilot this war will ever know.
Hell Let Loose Vietnam is a multiplayer tactical shooter with large 50v50 battles where players join either the US Armed Forces or North Vietnamese Army across detailed maps. Gameplay involves squad-based roles, communication, and following a command structure to capture objectives. Players use weapons, vehicles like helicopters and patrol boats, and mechanics such as tunnel building, movement options, and team coordination to gain control of sectors and complete mission goals. Gallipoli is a first-person shooter set during World War I, where players take part in battles across the Ottoman fronts, including beach landings and desert combat. Gameplay involves squad-based roles with different responsibilities, requiring coordination to capture objectives in multiplayer matches. Weapons use realistic handling and reload systems, while morale and positioning affect combat effectiveness. Players choose between British and Ottoman forces and engage in large-scale battles with multiple classes. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival is a first-person action horror game where players control Aiden, using a supernatural puzzle box called the Genesis Configuration during combat and survival scenarios. Gameplay involves combining its abilities with weapons to fight enemies such as cultists and other hostile creatures. Players progress through a story set in a hellish environment, managing encounters, using different powers, and reacting to threats while trying to complete objectives and survive.
Sometimes the things we think we need are not all that good for us.
As you say, I have witnessed you, Aiden Lynch. You crave what we offer, your desires so plentiful. Give in to your thirst.
Such delicious torment. It is done. She belongs to the labyrinth now. But perhaps we could come to an arrangement.
What do you want from me?
Aiden Lynch. You will give yourself to our purpose. All that you are. Let us begin.
Is that the thing from the ridge?
Saros is a third-person action game where players control Arjun Devraj on a hostile planet while investigating a lost colony. Gameplay combines shooting with roguelike systems, where each death allows permanent upgrades to weapons and suitabilities for future runs. Players use a shield to block and absorb enemy attacks, then convert that energy into powerful weapons. Progress also involves collecting holograms that reveal story details while advancing through repeated combat encounters.
The sun is forever.